Thank you.
First of all, I just really want to say that, like, hilarious. You touched on a lot of different issues. Particularly the one that stuck out to me was the really breaking down the N-word usage.
Yeah.
For white people.
Yeah.
Are we going to see any of the topics that you touched on during your stand-up show in this season of Marlon?
Probably not on this season, but maybe next season. I kind of just want the special to kind of just be its own entity, and then, you know, little by little bring some of that stuff into my show. I'm trying to let the show just be the show, so we find our own rhythm before I start pulling from like old like stand up. And right now it's finding its own stories and telling its own, has its own originality and its own truth. So damn you, girl.
I'm trying to be quiet. I'm sorry.
You good? You killed that quiet thing. Fail. So, but eventually, yeah, I will incorporate some of the stuff from the special into the show. We do touch on a little bit, but not really, like some topical stuff. Like we have the one, my son gets a modeling contract, and they want him to wear this shirt, Funky Monkey. And so as a father, I'm stuck with, it's a big contract, and I'm stuck with, you know, as an African American father, having my son with a shirt that has monkey on it, you know, we ain't playing that. And so it's choosing between money or your soul, you know, not selling out. And so we didn't write the ending yet. Depends on how much that money is. No. So basically, and he's gonna choose. You know, it's always about the soul. You know?
I was talking to Essence about the fact that this features a broken family, because watching the Cosby Show, I was like, okay, my dad's not in the house. You know what I mean?
He's like, I ain't got no daddy.
Right, exactly. So seeing this, and as a father
working, my daddy ain't in my life. He ain't got no daddy. No.
So being a father who's in my kid's life but not in the home, I really appreciate this show.
Yes.
Why go with that topic? Why go with that?
Because it's my life, it's my truth. I think for me, this show, there's a lot of broken families out there. Not every family makes it. A lot of families is acting like they together, really ain't together. And the kids don't find out until they're 18, I ain't fucking mama in years. So everybody put on this act, and I just wanted to tell my truth about your family is never broken if you choose it to be together. This is not a show about a family, a divorced family. Divorce is the backdrop. This is about a family finding an afterlife, finding a way to stay together and to still, you don't have to be together to have love. And in my household with my children, I don't live with them. It's literally the show. Me and my ex, we're really cool. I just took her on a vacation for her 50th birthday to Mexico, and we ain't beat, you know, no sex, no nothing, wrote a beautiful card, brought all her friends, you know, I celebrate her. I love her, I'll always love her. I don't need to have sex with her to love her. I love her in a multi-dimensional, unconditional way, and it's not about, sometimes in relationships, you take things so personal, and it's like, if I ain't, especially when it's like sex involved, it's like, if I ain't banging that, I ain't buying your shit. But you find that if you do things just because you love somebody and not because you're actually having sex with them, when you separate the two, what you have is two people that love each other like friends, unconditionally. And that's what this show is about, and that's what I try and do in my everyday life. It's not easy, but making the choice to love is always easy. And if you're pure in your thoughts and you're pure in your actions, there's not much people can say about you being a good person, except for, I hate the fact that he's too good of a person. I just try and be my best me, and I hope this speaks to broken families. I hope this show speaks to and resonates to you know, even families that's together, because what you look at is, you know, people that love each other that's just trying to figure it all out.
I follow you on social and some of your writers as well. I see you guys joking around all the time on social media as well. And I know Brescia and Essence talked about your relationship and how you lead with love. And I just wanted to ask you about, you know, the writers. How did you choose them and your relationships with them, that kind of thing? How does that? How does all of the personal the personal camaraderie come into the show?
It's funny because for me to do a TV show and not have people that know me in that room would make no damn sense. So, you know, me and Chris, who's my producing partner on this, and Rick Alvarez, who's my producing partner in all the projects I do, we three have a great chemistry. I don't force my people in the room. We meet people fairly, and we want the best writers, not just go, I gotta put everybody on. No, I want the best writers that's gonna elevate the show. And some of those writers, well, I mean, we sat with them, we read their materials, we read their scripts, you know, we did the due diligence. And even the guys that I know, like my nephew Craig is a writer on here, and he's been a writer and producer on Wife and Kids and Wayans Brothers and several projects. He had his own show. Mitchell Marchand, one of my best friends since I was in high school, like 14 years old. So when he's in that room, and he's a writer producer, he works outside of me. He does what's Terrence J's show, Safe Word. He produced on the Emmys. You know, Mitchell's a writer, and you know, he just so happens to be one of my best friends in the world, and it's good to have that in there because when they're creating stories, Craig and Mitch will be like, Marlon wouldn't do that. Or they'll be like, well, here's a story that happened to us based on truth, and here's the type of character he is. So when I'm not in the room, I'm always represented. And the other guys, you know, I like a multicultural audience because I want to tell multicultural stories, even though it's based in black. But I wanted to appeal to everybody. And if you look at my writer's room, if you look at my set, I have a very diverse group of people. It represents everybody. It's not just, you walk in some sets in Hollywood and it's like, hey, it's snowing in here. Everything is white. How the chocolate cake white? But for me, I like to walk into a place that feels like the world. So when I walk into the set, y'all walk in my set right now, you'll see black people, white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, women. I always make sure there's women. Like in my writer's room last year, it was mostly women. And unfortunately, some of the women left. So now it's like, but still I have, there's Terry, Raynell, Brittany. Still there's 3 women of color that sit in that room and make, you know, decisions. And they know when we going out of bounds, that's a little too broad. That's a little too broad, you know, and it's good to have that and have that representation. And last year we had like 6 women in the room, which is great because that's what I wanted. I wanted a female, I want a female audience. I want to be respectful to the heart of the show. And I think the heart of a show comes and it leads with a woman. Guys, we can be a little insensitive. And so when you watch the episodes, I think the best part about the show, it's not all the comedy. The comedy's hilarious, but it doesn't mean anything if we don't have that moment of what is this story about, what is it building, and how do we feel? A lot of this show is how do we feel, and that's the part I think people go, that was unexpected. I didn't expect that. But in good TV, it should have some depth. When I was younger, I came from sketch, so everything was just about jokes. And what I found in my personal journey over the last 7 years of kind of doing it on my own is, you know, I've learned to embrace story. And that's why I don't do parody anymore. I don't do parody because I want to do real movies, like a movie that has heart, like Naked. It was a romantic comedy. I got to get the girl, but still be ridiculously funny, but feel something. I do it in my stand-up now. The sitcom is a constant reminder every week. Story. The jokes are there, but if you at 22 minutes, if you don't have 2 minutes of heart, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? It's like it has to mean something. And I think that comes from women. I mean, guys can do it too, but I think women are more genuine, and you could tell when you have a good story because the women in the room will go, I like that. Because I see it in fans. I see it when I walk the streets. I know now when our audience likes something, the audience nowadays is mostly predominantly female. And guys, we used to have to say, so we gonna see this. Women like, no, If you want some ass, we gonna go see it. Yes. Okay. and y'all lead the way. So I try to do things that appeal to that female audience, because women, they like to laugh, but they like to feel something. And as a man, I like to feel something. I like going to movies and doing that, wiping that little tear out your eye, on the side, one of those, it feels, feels strange, it feels awkward, but it feels good, So I just think I want to, like I said, I make sure, all that to say, I'm proud to have probably one of the most diverse shows behind the scenes in Hollywood. My directors, we have a couple of female directors this year. We have a lot of African American directors: Phil Lewis, Robbie Countryman, Eric. We have the majority, and then we have 2 women, and I think, and one is the minority is white people here. There's only one Caucasian director, and Kevin. So and it feels good to be in a position where you can at least be aware, to offer the opportunity to everybody. I don't want just, I want to walk in the world, walk on a set, and I want to see every representation of everybody, from black to white and everywhere in between,
When and how did you learn that? Because you've been successful pretty much your whole career. All your projects have been fairly successful. So when and how did you learn that to be like, now I've been winning, but now I want to include people?
I was taught that watching my brother on In Living Color. Keenan was always, when we was producing movies, when we were younger, we always wanted to walk into a world where it felt like everyone was represented, and the heart, I think, came, over the last 7 years with me doing my own kind of thing. You learn, you figure it out. Me getting on stage and knowing what a good joke is and a good set is, and I could have did a special, but I didn't feel like it was special until I felt like I had the heart in the story that was going to resonate with everybody. Like, one of the best parts of my shows when I talk about my daughter and I talk about my son, and then I could talk, even when I talk about Trump or Black Lives Matter, or the police and black people, it has context, it has texture, it has a story, it has heart. I'm able to sit there in the pocket and talk about it in an intelligent manner and make you feel something, and then you laugh. And to me, that's good entertainment. And that came from failure. You learn from failure, and failure is one of the greatest teachers. You grow. I'm growing, and I realize I'm 45 years young, and I'm trying to incorporate all I do. And I'm just like, people are like, why you did stand up so late? I'm like, because that's what God told me to do, and that was my journey, because I want to get better. And in order to get better, I gotta go on the road, and I gotta hit different countries, and I gotta hit little dirty nightclubs, and I gotta hit the coffee houses, and do the theaters, and do the work to become the best artist I can be. I got the dramatic chops, so why don't you use them? I went to Performing Arts High School for 4 years. Me and Omar Epps are like classmates. Like, he's dope drama, I'm dope drama. I'm like, why don't you do more dramatic? So now, if I'm doing a sitcom, let me put some drama in it. Essence could act the ass off. Sometimes I have to slap her like, hey! You're the wrong show. This ain't us.
That might be a good comedy. That might be your next stand-up. This ain't us.
Marlon, is there anything that's off limits now that you're putting yourself and your story on the show and your stand-up? Is there anything?
Nah, I'm an open book. I'm an open book in my life. I'm an open book. I've designed my life in a way so that I could be truthful, ultimately truthful, unapologetically truthful. We are all flawed, and there's nothing wrong with going, I'm flawed. And you will find when you go, I'm flawed, there's a lot of people that go, yeah, I be doing the same dumb shit. And it feels good to just be truthful. That's why I think one of the reasons why I never wanted to get married, because I never wanted to lie. I just prefer that you just love me for who I am and not because I'm selling you some pipe dream and some lie. I just want to, I'm a lovable, sweet guy. I just don't want to lie to people, and I like living in optimal truth because it feels good. It's like people go, "Why are you always naked in movies?" Because I don't give a fuck. I live naked in my life. I live free. It's a metaphor for me. I live free. I don't have a lot of I don't walk around with these dark secrets, and I'm just me, man. I say it on the stage. I'm very humble in that way. Like, I don't mind being flawed, and I don't mind sharing my stories, and I don't mind talking about things that people go, I don't know if you want to do that. Sure I do. Let people judge me if they want to, but I'm not gonna allow myself to I'm not gonna judge myself. I've created a person that I am actually proud of, in spite of all my flaws, that I'm willing to just be like, yeah, I'm flawed, and here's how I could hopefully get better.
With the success of Naked and the acclaim from the Netflix special and now season 2 of Marlon, do you feel like you've now not transcended, but you've distinguished yourself as your own individual away from the way, and obviously you're Wayans, but do you feel like you're now forged that path where you can stand alone as Marlon with that recognition and not my whole family is talented?
I think I'm making steps toward that, but it's funny because as much as I want to build Marlon, I never want to be untethered from Wayans. It's kind of like, I don't know, what pops in my head is kind of like going out into space and you have the NASA Space Center, but you're going to explore, and I'm tethered. While I'm walking the moon, the Space Center's right there. I'm just allowed to go freely, go around space and discover things, but I always want to be yanked back and attached to Wayans. I love my tribe. I love them. I love my tribe of Wayans like I love my tribe of Black. I love them. I love them. I am them. I never want to not be them. I will always be Marlon Wayans. I'm never going to be Marlon. I'm always going to be Marlon Wayans. But I do want to be my own individual. My brothers know that, look, I'm a little crazy. I'm a little crazy. I do crazy. I do shit that my brothers don't think nigga's crazy. I'm the one they talk about at the dinner. I'm the one, I know, they talk about me. Damon, this nigga just fucked the stuffed animal. He did it so good he made me want some. I know, but that's
It's the perfect impression.
He's always called me stupid. We are. I know I'm a little crazy, but that's who I am, and I've always told. We all have our own distinct kind of crazy, and I think coming up, my brothers, being that they were first, Keenan and Damon, and even Sean, they came first. They was in the industry a lot longer before I jumped in. They had time to really figure out who they were. And before they got famous, they had 20 years of work that people didn't even see. When I jumped in, I was immediately famous. So you all have watched me literally grow as an artist in front of your eyes. I'm now where they were 20 years ago. It's just that everybody got to see me grow. And so now, yeah, I'm a little bit different. I'm the same dude, but a little bit different, a little crazier in some men, a little more less mature and a little bit more mature. But I'm finding my way as Marlon, and I think you have to dare take chances, and you do have to be fearless, and you can't be afraid to fail.
What was it like growing up in that house, and do you see yourself being like your dad? Because I see myself like being like my mom now. Do you see that like when you're raising your kids?
No, yeah, I have pieces of my father in me. Growing up in the house, okay, let me ask you guys 3 questions.
I know, I'm trying to get it in, sorry.
Shit. You confused me. Which one do I answer?
All of them.
You nosy as hell. All right, growing up in the house was fun. It was great. I wouldn't change a thing. The way I was raised, our point of view of the world, the way we teased each other when we got spankings, the fact that we got spankings, you know, I wouldn't change. A lot of kids look at their parents and go, I don't like my mom, she did this, and my father did that. I don't look at my parents like that. My father is a very religious man, Joe Witness. He's always trying to recruit me. I'm like, nigga, no. I like Christmas. But I do absorb the spirituality in the book. And my dad always hit me with, you know, I was just at dinner with him in New York, and I asked him, you know, I said, give me 10 scriptures that are meaningful. Because as my dad ages, I want to hold him with me. So I asked him about his religion, where I didn't as a boy, but now I'm curious because I want to know what he's made of as a man. What is the ingredients to make you the dope ass dude that you are? Because if you should ever go, I want that. I want that blueprint. And so my dad was like, one of the scriptures he gave me, he said, this one's not a scripture. He said, this is a commandment. I said, what? He said, honor thy mother and father, for thy days, and I finished the sentence, for thy days on this earth will be longer. And we began to have a conversation about that, and he didn't even talk. I knew exactly what that scripture meant because I do it in life. I do it. I pick my mama up. I walk with my mother. I put her in the car. I strap on her seatbelt. I'll take her to a doctor's appointment. I take care of her. I take care of my mama with pride. My daddy, I put his drunk ass in the Uber after tomorrow. I take him to get some great steak. I'll go to his crib and look around like, yo, you need a new oven. I honor, and it's not just about, like, it's not even about the things that you do or the money that you provide. It's about understanding that we as children, you can't place blame on your parents, because what you're doing is you are becoming the victim in life. If you want to honor your mother and father, you respect the fact that you are here. It makes you grateful, makes you appreciative. No, not every parent is great. Not every people are flawed. You know what parents are? Broken kids raising kids. That's all. So who are we to judge our parents? Because one day, guess what? You're going to be the one that's being judged. So, you know, if you don't like something your parents did, then don't do it with your kids. Be better. But don't sit there and go, oh, my mama this way. No, I don't tolerate that kind of talk. I always shift people into light and go respect and honor your mother and father, even if they weren't in your life. If your daddy wasn't in your life, he probably knew he wasn't shit. He said he knew it. But you know what? He did donate, and he got you here. So here, you could be on a wall somewhere. You could be on an eyelash. You could be on a tissue, on a face. Like, you could be in some weird places. But you're here.
Is there a dramatic script in you?
I think about 5 years ago, I knew you really wanted the Richard Pryor role.
Ashley. No, I always sweat because I'm healthy. I got vitamins. You think I'm on drugs? I'm like, no, I'm not. Thank you, I appreciate that.
I interviewed you about 5 years ago. I know you really wanted the Richard Pryor role.
Yeah.
That sort of drew you to stand-up comedy. How do you feel now about not getting it?
I feel like I believe in alchemy, and I don't question when I don't get things. I always go, why? You know, like I said, my dad raised me in the book. And so I try to apply that to my life. Whenever things don't happen, I know there's a reason. I believe in alchemy. I believe in God having a pen and me living my life and doing the work, and that's writing the script.
Yep.
I don't control that movie. I don't. But you know what I control? Getting my behind on the stage.
Yeah.
Doing the audition.
Yeah.
Not caring about nothing, and
Yeah.
you know, in all humility, doing the best that I could to get that role, doing the work, going on stage. That movie still ain't being made.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe God has held that movie for me to mature as a stand-up, to really understand what that journey was, so I can have a whole nother understanding and layer to the character that I couldn't have 7 years ago when I was just an actor going up for a role. Now I have a special. I am a comedian. So I believe God has a purpose for us all, and I also believe, like, I don't look at a movie to define me. I started out, I'm grateful that my hero in comedy, which is Richard Pryor, brought my ass to the stage, because that's the gift. I started out wanting to play a great, now I want to be a great. So I have the right motivation. One day, so hopefully I'm gonna be so great somebody will play me in a movie.
Yeah. Great answer.
Right now, Nick Cannon. Somebody tell him he ain't released him. I told him 2 things. Take the fucking turban off. 2 things. Put on some socks and get the goddamn Mariah tattoo up your fucking back. He told you not to do that.
So now in the special, you also talked about hip hop. You talked about the music that your kids listen to and hip hop of today. And the Wayans are very well known for always incorporating hip hop culture in your shows and your movies. Will we get to see some of that in season 2 of Marlon?
Maybe more in season 3, but see, we always use a little bit of pop culture and we always put that into whatever we do. Me and my family keep our fingers on the pulse of what's going on. That's why I hang on my nephews. They think it's because I love them. I'm like, no, y'all keep me young. And even your kids, like, you really have to digest them. I watch my kids. I want to hear their playlist. I go on their Spotify, and to be honest with you, my daughter got crazy taste in music. I'm supposed to take her to a concert. I don't even know who this is. It's not hip hop. It's folk. Glenn somebody. I know I'm asleep in the concert, but I want to know what she's listening to. They're more diverse than we were musically. Musically, like I was like R&B, hip hop. I just started getting into rock and roll when Rock Band came out. I learned all the songs to I'm a cowboy for real on side. That shit in high school, like, yo, turn that loud shit off. But now I gravitate toward it, and yeah, I mean, I try to use that and put that influence into the world and incorporate as much as I can in terms of life into whatever I do. I like to talk about like topical things, and at the same time, I like to make those topical things personal.
What's the biggest misconception about you?
The biggest misconception? Oh, that I don't know. I think there's many. I think a lot of people think I'm just like, he's stupid. Like I think they don't understand that the fool is sometimes the wisest one in the room. I don't mind being foolish. My job, people go, you tried too hard to be funny. No, that's just my sense of humor. You're supposed to try hard to be funny. If I'm sweating on a stage, it's because I'm not trying to be cool. I'm trying to do characters. I'm trying to work hard so that you get your money's worth at your ticket. Them tickets are expensive. The liquor costs money. You know, I'm like, yo, I want you to get your money's worth. I don't care what it is that I'm doing. I want to work hard and put. It's not that I'm trying. It's just that that's who I am. That's my matrix, and I'm not going to apologize for being hard working. It's just what I do. I'm not sorry. I don't go on stage with a $40,000 watch. You know, you know what? I don't even wear expensive stuff on the stage for the most part. I did for my special, but I'm not gonna ruin good clothes. I'm gonna up there sweating. I'm gonna smell like gyro meat when I get on stage. Why would I do that to Saint Laurent? Nah, I put on a cheap ass plaid shirt, some skinny jeans that's flexible, and some Vans. They're $60. You don't see? I don't be rocking it. I'll rock this in life, and if I'm just, you know, at core, I think I'm just, I don't know. I try not to. I don't want to be flossy. Especially on a stage. You know what I feel like? I feel like when I'm on a stage that I want people to get the impression that, wow, that dude is just like me. Yeah. Like one of y'all just walked up on stage, and if you did the work, you can light up stage. Like I don't want to be above anybody. I want to be Buddha walking amongst the common, because I think in royalty you got to be a man of the people. You got to be a man of the people. Your heart has to be in the right place. I come from a blue collar family in the projects from New York City, and you know, when it comes to my calling, I got bigger dreams outside of just being on a stage. I work hard because I want to create the next version of me. I took my money this year, and you know, I had a good year. I went and took a big chunk, and I donated to the Hudson Guild, which is the community center that I grew up in Chelsea. They gave me my immunization shots. They kept me out of trouble. I went to summer camp there. I went to Head Start there. And so I donated money to them. I don't talk about it. I don't do the God's plan and all that, the video of me doing it. I don't, and maybe I should, and it's not a bad thing. I'm not dissing nobody. I'm just saying I just do it because I do it. And I hope that it builds a house for those kids so they don't get in trouble. And I go there and I have talks, and I sit there with 60 kids or 200 kids, and I talk to them about how they can be me because I used to be them. And so I think the biggest misconception about me is that I have one layer, and I think I have a lot more depth than people can, until you sit down with me. You know, I can tell you, different things and have different conversations, but I am very motivational. I try to bring the best out of everybody and everybody that works with me. I try to bring the best out of them. I hope they look at me and working my ass off and fainting on stage if I got to, and go, yo, he goes all out. Let me go all out. That's all. To be an example.
You keep saying season 3. Every person that's come into your cast, they said exactly that. I mean,
Y'all sweat on that?
that you know that you bring the best out of them. That you are there for them.
I love
They
them.
feel that.
You keep saying season
They be
3.
mad
Have you
at
already
me.
been
I mean-
greenlit for season 3?
Huh?
You keep saying season 3. Have you already been greenlit for season 3?
No, I ain't been greenlit for season 3, but you gotta be hopeful.
Hello.
Yeah, man. I'm just trying to get past 10 episodes. Can we get 22? But I sit with Brisha and Yallo and Essence and anybody that's around me. Like Brisha, I poke her in her chest. I get mad at her. Like, I tell them, if this is the greatest thing you did, then I failed you. This is the beginning. This is the alpha for everybody. Our omega is endless. Let this just be a starting point for where you go. My brother Keenan set that tone when he did In Living Color. If you look at that show, everybody made it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Everybody on even the dancers. J-Lo. Look at J-Lo. Look at Carrie Ann Anaka. Look at Jim Carrey. Look at David Allen Greer. Look at Keenan, Sean, Jamie, Damon, Kim. Like, Keenan brought the best out of us. And so it's my duty to pay it forward. He taught me how, I know nothing else. He taught me how to be a Jedi, so it's only right for me to raise other Jedis. That's why if you walk around the set, say Wayans, there'll be, woo-hoo! There'll be like 10 of them. And there's no real program for them. I put together a program. Y'all come to set, y'all watch. When I did Living Color, my brother did Living Color, he did any project, I'ma Get You Sucker. Look in the background. We was there at 11 years old. He gave us little roles, and we got to sit there and soak up and learn. And that's why I'm able to do it today, is because he put us in the position to learn. I went on the road with Damon. I was 8, so I know what it is to put together a special, because I went on the road with Damon when I was 8. He used to bring us up to Boston. I watched him put together some of the funniest things that ever been done on a stage. So it's only right that it's beautiful. His son is here, and he's sitting here soaking it up. And then one day my son will be with him. So, it's just a tradition, Yeah.
Would you ever do a
Thank you, Marlon.